Hi guys, it's your girl T. So I wanted to get on here and talk about the whole crazy Lovely T being a shady, culture appropriating, shit talking woman situation. Yeah. So okay, so this video, like I told you earlier, it took me some contemplation to want to make it. I kind of felt a little bad about it, like, damn, do I really want to go in on T or whatever? But you know what? We have to address this because it has to be spoken about, and it's just so funny, like how T came out with this video today addressing the whole Caitlyn Jenner or whatever situation, how people were kind of dragging her in the comment section regarding her basically having what is the word? It's like disinterested type of like attitude towards everything negative that Black China Mama was saying, basically calling Caitlyn a faggot and calling him a nigga, this and this and that. And T basically had nothing to say about it. She just kind of, talked about how.
But yeah, you're the same. But yeah, you're the justice warrior for anything else, and you're at the moral crossroads. About any other form of injustice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or, liberating anybody else that does bad. Or T is known for calling people out and keeping it, and that's what
keeping it real.
Yeah, and that's what myself as a viewer was attracted to with her channel, in that she could come at things impartially and not be emotionally charged. But one thing that I have noticed, and which we're going to touch on in this video, is that you're a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to the gay community, when it comes to the trans community. And I'm sorry, the reason why we're even making this video and addressing it is it's not because you're just a regular person. It's because you have profited, okay? You have built your coinage and your empire and your brand representation and identity off of lingo that started, okay, in the scene of 2003 and before, girl, that you girls and you straight fish, honey, y'all was not saying what's T. Or what the T, y'all didn't even know, and it's still to this day, most women don't know what what's T means. But that is your whole, you have taken that and made that your whole personification, as if, or get your teacups ready, because what is T? It's what? Piping hot. Girl, that's kitchen table talk for the gay queens, honey, but you don't rub shoulders with us in truth. See, how many gay people do you actually know that are authentically in your inner circle, that you sit with, you're really taking with like that? How many trans people do you actually know that you're sitting with and you're taking with like that? It's one thing to be, okay, to have your internal dialogue and your disposition about the community or whatever the case may be, and yet you're not profiting off of our lingo and our slogan and the shit that we've come up with to basically keep you and your kind out of the loop of our discussions. That's what lingo is about. Okay, it's when we talk about trade and when we talk about sipping tea, and when we say that we develop that language so that we're in your midst, when we're in the midst of nosy ass females like you, okay, who like to, and we're gonna get on all the tea, honey. We have received. We're gonna get on all the tea about you, honey, because
yes,
it's one thing to have your disposition, like I said, but you bring that out in your channel, and I don't like that you can be very neutral about every other subject, or you can be very liberal about every other subject and distinguish right from wrong. But when it comes to the gays and when it comes to the trans, you're more like, you can tell, and it's like somebody said in the comment, okay, comment in your comment section, you can tell you're uncomfortable and you tolerate us, okay, and that your body language, the type of content that you cover when you are discussing gay people and trans people, it's very either nonchalant
and it's violent or violent.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the things that Black China Mama was saying, you know what I'm saying? That shit was like very, like, why would you even choose to talk about that? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me. But I want to make it clear that the whole Kaylin thing and the Black China Mama thing, that's not the base of this video, because we've been planning to do this video for quite some time. It's just divine timing how this just kind of happened this morning and last night. But we were about to make this video last week and the week before that. We just been procrastinating. But the whole accumulation of everything and these videos that came out today, it just made us, you know, basically, bam, just put this thing on y'all. Okay, so I want to start with the receipts, okay? Just to show you guys what we're talking about, because a lot of people, you know, basically the straight people, you may not even notice or clock the things that we are, you know, and notice the nuances and the things that she says and her mannerisms, and the things that come out of her mouth, you know, that come out naturally, that many of you probably agree with. But the whole point is, she is using our language, she is using our vocabulary to profit from, and it's not right. It's like, girl, if you're gonna fuck with us, you're gonna fuck with us. If you're not gonna fuck with us, then don't fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of kind of like how white people, they will listen to rap music and talk to their friends and call their friends the N-word and, you know, go this and this and that, but yet they don't fuck with black people, or they have these stereotypes in their mind that, you know, it's better at a distance. You know what I'm saying? They'll tolerate you. Right. They'll tolerate you on television, or they'll tolerate you playing sports. But as far as dealing with an individual, they don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how you are, because you don't have a circle of gay men or trans women as your friends. So we can look at you and tell, you know what I'm saying? Because of the things that you say and your mind frame, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't connect with your words. It's like you're trying to stay modern and hip as far as like lingo and things like that, but your mentality is still that of someone back in the day. Of a 90s queen. Yeah, exactly. Of a 90s queen. Honey. You know, so it's just crazy. So, you know, I just think that we need to start with the receipts, and let's look for them right now. Okay, so hold on.
I also want to say that, well, I want to start off with the situation that I noticed in a video that she did, and I know you're going to touch on the Rashida from
so
you're going to touch on that. Wait, but I want to talk about the Ferrari Truth situation, because this does tie in with the Black China situation. Okay. And I want to say this to address T and also the majority of Black females out there. Okay. You do not notice in the white, and I'm not trying to cape for these girls, okay, but you don't notice in the white conversation that they have outing parties, that they are constantly questioning the sexuality of their men based on style, based on dress code and choices. But it's like, why is it in the Black community a man being attentive to his style of dress or his hygiene, or even his sensitivity or sentiment? Why is that always in question and linked with his sexuality? Okay, Black females, I'm gonna need y'all to stop going on this witch hunt for DL men. And let me break something down. Let me break the truth down to you guys. Okay, and T, lovely T, if that is your real name. Okay, you guys, the majority of you are the reason that DL Black men exist. You are, because there is no safety net, there is no inclusion, there is no collaboration and acceptance for Black gay men amongst Black women. Okay, it's one thing that, and when you look at the white girls, and again, I'm not trying to cape to these girls, but when you look at the white girls, a lot of the trans women in the white community, they're still married to women. You know, they get married to women. A lot of them, they transition later on in life and they have children, and they can still have that family dynamic. I'm not saying that it's working. Well, I'm not saying that that's the model to follow after. But it's like when you talk to Black females, it's like, oh, if that nigga, you know, if he's bisexual, that's a no. You know, if he's over over here doing that, that's a no. If he's too this, that's a no. And it's like, okay, it's one thing to have your preference. Okay, you don't want to deal with a bisexual man. You don't want to deal with a trans female. That's your preference. But it's another thing that on the social media site that y'all go on witch hunts, you know, trying to, oh, well, ladies, if your man wore stupid shit, like a fucking man with a bald spot on his head, that if he want to wear a lace front to have confidence and to you know, or he gets a Beijing in his beard, or he dyes his beard, or again, even shapes his eyebrows, ladies, what would you say if your man came home like this? And it's usually in mockery, you know, or to mock as femininity in a man, or bisexuality in a man, or metrosexuality in a man. And it's like, that's why y'all hoes are single, okay? That's why, because ain't no man want to deal with no critical, hypercritical ass woman who is sitting around judging every little thing that he does and associating it with him not being man enough, okay? And going into this Ferrari True situation and Lovelyti, okay, it's one thing. Like, girl, I didn't even know you knew who what's the makeup queen's name? I forgot her name.
Star Milan.
Star Milan. I didn't even know that you knew who Star Milan was. And it's like, why is it that you included his testimony or his receipt against Ferrari's true sexuality only when it's convenient in kind of proving your point or associating your point of outing this a black man? Okay, and this is the witch hunt that I'm talking about. Okay, it's stories that you cover, T, about gay is like it's mostly about outing them, or the tea or drama that's surrounding outing them, or oh, they've just been outed, or they've been caught up having sex with a trans person, or it's like that's the dynamic that makes us look at you sideways.
Because it's negative shit. It's like you want a negative tip when
shit.
You know what I'm saying? And it creates a hostile environment in your comment section where people just continue to post negative things that is unmonitored, and you allow it, but yet the minute somebody questions your ass, you want to block them. I just kind of find that really funny. You allow all type of just fuckery and negative ass, evil, disgusting, humiliating comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm going in on people. But yet, the minute somebody questions your thoughts and somebody questions your words, the things that you say on your channel, you want to go and block them, you know? And that just speaks so much about you as a person. And we have been watching you for a very long time, T. We're not new subscribers, okay? We're not newbies. We're not new to the game, and we ain't new to nothing. I mean, you may have 20 to 30 years on us. Yeah, you may have 20 to 30 years on us, but trust, in the life that we live and in the culture that you're appropriating, honey, we're legends, okay? We've been in the game, and we could teach you a few things. We could teach you a few things, sweetheart, okay? Just to make that clear. And we have clocked the shade, and we're here to address it, okay? So, yeah, that's basically what it is. So,
do you have the receipts?
I definitely have the receipts. So we're gonna start with the basically the young jock Dominican blowout thing, where T is basically saying that, oh, these days women want to be men, and that, you know, women out here sounding like men, and men out here, you know, doing blowouts. So I'm gonna play this footage. So go ahead and listen to this, you guys, and I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary.
I just feel like the roles are completely reversed. You know, you got women out here acting like men, sounding like men, dressing like men. You got men out here getting Dominican blowouts and, you know, rocking male weaves.
Okay, so you guys heard that. Now, for somebody who wants to just use lingo and, you know, pretend with their verbiage that they're so forward and modern, and you would think that this woman is around, just the way that she talks is just around gay men 24/7. It's just so funny how these women talk and behave, but yet their mentality Their mind frame is completely ass backwards, and it's so conservative. Like tea, if you're gonna be talking about shade and oh, what's tea, and spilling the tea, honey, and ooh, this tea is piping hot, honey. Why are you holding on to these gender roles, to what a man is supposed to be and how a woman is supposed to be and how a woman is supposed to sound? And you know, you're acting like if this is such a like if the times are changing, like T, how does this affect you? You know, a part of you is moving on with the times and wants to leech onto our culture, but yet you still want to hold on to your it's like your net of security when it comes to what you feel the world is supposed to look like, you know? And it's just, it's not genuine. You come off as fake, you know, and viewers like myself are watching this, and it just turns me off. You know what I'm saying? I came into this, you know, as a tea sipper. You know, I clocked that you used the lingo, but I was like, you know what? Let's watch you. And over time, you went and became the typical woman, basically. And you know, started throwing your shade over here, trying to like make it seem like, oh, men have to be like this, or a real man is supposed to like this and that. Oh, if he doesn't, honey, he's on the DL. Well, he must not like women. If he, girl, you're putting everything on us. You're over here kind of like throwing the blame and kind of like villainizing the gay community every single time. And you don't notice that, but it's creating a hostile environment. That's what you're ensuing, okay? So you need to wake the fuck up and realize what the fuck you're saying and doing, sweetie, okay? And change, you're gonna have to change the whole setup of your show. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't fuck with us, don't fuck with us. So I mean, so you heard that. What do you feel as far as like what she's saying?
It goes back to exactly what I was just talking about in my point before, like you mentioned, holding on to these gender norms and these gender roles, yet, you know, you are insecure about the moving forward of times and people having their own liberty to decide.
And feeling comfortable.
If a man wants to get a motherfucking Dominican blowout, if he wants to rock a male weave, what does that have to do with you? And why are you questioning his sexuality? Bitch, he can rock that male weave and be dogging out 20 of y'all females.
Hello.
Dogging y'all ass out. Baby mama, baby daddy ain't y'all asses up. So it's just very ignorant.
It is very ignorant.
Very ignorant on your behalf.
And shallow.
Associate
very shallow, and it's very careless. It's careless and it's dangerous as well.
It's just, yeah.
It is.
I feel like, you know, it's there. You need to, girl, if you're gonna play like you're hit and you're just so young and you're just so, then you need to get out of that. You need to
let it go. And if you're not, bitch, then stop appropriating us. Stop appropriating us, honey. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bitch, it's kind of how you know, they have that saying like, oh, you can't be pro-black while sleeping white, honey. You can't be anti-gay, honey, while talking gay, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, you can't be anti or kind of like I don't really know, but while talking our lingo. You just keep
like and you've done that in your body language. You've done that in your dialogue plenty of times for like my friend said, for us who are a part of the gay community and trans community to feel some type of, it's not what really you're saying, and it's how it makes us feel, and that it may fly over the head of a heterosexual person, or they may agree with you, and in that they're agreeing with you, like my friend was saying, you're creating a hostile environment. And I don't know if you realize that you're doing that because you want to be so true to your own opinion, which you're entitled to. But what we're saying to you, okay, is that, bitch, you're a fake ass bitch if you want to sit up here and use our lingo, especially profit off of it. Okay?
Exactly.
Tea sippers and what's tea and get your teacups.
Be real about what you really are. Be real about it, bitch. Yeah. You don't fuck with us, just don't fuck with us. Stop trying to ride the fence.
And I also feel like the video that you made today about, you know, you were deflecting. You were deflecting. It's one thing that you don't fuck with Caitlyn Jenner. I don't fuck with Caitlyn Jenner. But she is now Caitlyn Jenner. Okay? And it's like, I understand, because I watched the video and you said, you know, that you you review Caitlyn as always being a man because he's kind of come from that, and you've known him as he was that. But a real supporter of just not who he is per se, but just the whole orientation of the trans movement would be more inclined to use the correct pronoun.
Exactly.
Okay, you don't have to like him as a person. You don't have to like him as a person. But you know, it's another thing when you're talking about somebody, you're referring to somebody, you're like Bruce, aka Caitlyn. It's like, no, the bitch changed her name. She's now Caitlyn, so it's no longer Bruce. Okay, and I think she, regardless if you like her or you fuck with her or not, she deserves at least that respect in that regard because she is trans. She identifies as trans. She went through with the transition. So, or not, you know, who knows what's going on with her body, but, you know, she went through enough that to remodify herself to be presented as female. Okay?
Yeah.
Regardless of if you agree with it or you think she does or not.
Or you don't like, or if you don't like her, or if you don't like her, you can't, you don't pick and choose here. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be like neutral or whatever, then you're gonna have to call her what it is. You know, you can't be like, oh,
and she was saying like, oh, well, she refers to Janet.
Yeah, she refers to Janet. Yeah, she showed the little receipts or whatever.
Bitch. That's deflecting.
That is deflecting.
I feel like she was deflecting because all the other receipts that add up, it shows again that you're picking, choosing who, because it's like, okay, again, you can use Star Milan and you can kind of cape for Star Milan only when it's convenient to throw somebody under the bus.
Yes.
To be gay. So yeah, bitch. No, you're being a hypocrite.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Go ahead with the receipts. Let's quote some more.
Definitely. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Oh yeah, and I also want to talk about as far as Janet Mock, how she was saying that you know, that Janet sounds like, you know, like a woman and this and this and that. It's like, just because Caitlyn still has a deep voice or maybe whatever, like that doesn't negate her transition, and that doesn't negate like what you identify her as. You know what I'm saying? So it's like most transgender people don't look like Janet Mock. Okay. So you can't just think that, like I'll only address trans women who look like Janet Mock or Laverne Cox or who, you know, are passable. No, sweetheart, because the average transgender cannot afford, okay, surgeries, hormones. Okay, so, you know, so to me, it's like if you were to look at the real transgender women out here, I know, you know, in your mind, you wouldn't even be able to handle it. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't, because your mindset is against all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you want it to be like, so it's like she wants.
You want it to be black and white.
Yeah,
you want it to be clear cut.
They have to be like perfect.
You're only going to respect and give props or the correct pronouns or
when the transgender,
those who are complete.
Yeah, who are slaying, who got everything done. Yeah, you know, like, hello, Janet Mock went through a lot to look like that. Okay, honey, she didn't wake up like that. Okay, so it's like, yeah, so it's like, you need to address everybody correctly. It don't matter what position they are in their journey or whatever, you know, however they sound, however they look. Okay, so yeah, it's like you can't say like, oh, it's like a white person calling this guy the N-word, but he fucks with black people or whatever. Like, oh, well, I don't like his ass, so I'm gonna degrade him and call him out of his name, you know, and call him all type of racial shit. But it's just because I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? But I still fuck with you though. You know, no. You know what I'm saying? If you call
or even like the hypocrisy is that like a white person dating a black person and then you sitting around your spouse who's black and you talking shit about black people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like, what type of hypocrisy is that? Like that just, yeah, you know, bring on the more receipts.
Okay, so the next receipt that we're gonna put is the footage of Peter Thomas and Matt Jordan's fight, and basically he's talking about like, oh, you know, the roles are reversed, and you know, because the women out here. Well, let's play it, and we'll come back with the rest of our commentary.
And I also find it very disturbing that the female was the main one in between them trying to break them up. It's like the men were falling back. Meanwhile, the woman is putting herself in danger. I mean, the roles are so reversed nowadays, it's really scary. I mean, you would think it would have been the men getting involved and saying, no, brothers, y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to stop. But it was the female. you know, I couldn't.
So yeah. So basically, T, like your mind frame, like your true emotions and your true thoughts, they come out in situations like this. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about roles being reversed and how the men are supposed to do this and how the women is, you know, like listen, in that situation, those people, they don't know Peter Thomas and they don't know the other guy. So it's like, bitch, if I don't know you, I'm not stepping into no motherfucking fight to break shit up. And
I was just gonna say.
And if a female,
these people are grown.
Exactly.
These people are grown as fuck.
Yes, and if a woman decides that she wants to step in and break that shit up, that's her prerogative, not mine. Okay, I'm not gonna put my life at risk for nobody. I don't know them motherfucking people, and I ain't stepping in to break up shit. So if you want to do it, then you get in that shit, and that's your business. The fuck?
Let me just touch on something that really kind of irks me with this whole that whole dialogue of what we just pointed out about. It's like, and I'm not gonna say all females, but it's just like with the female gender, it's kind of like you guys want your cake and you want to eat it too. You want to be able to get like the special treatment and the privilege and to be coddled and, oh my God, we're going to get up and let Miss Lady sit down. Her feet look so tired and she's so dainty and, oh, let's save her. Let's all as men jump to the rescue and save her. But yet, still in this day and age, you don't want to be treated like pets. You don't want to be treated like property. You want your own independence. You want equal this. You want equal that. You want to be able for your, you know, to not everything you do not be associated with your gender role or your sex. Okay, you want to be able to have that freedom, but then at the same time, you want to be coddled. Oh my God, don't hit her because she's a woman. She wasn't thinking. She was just like, no, like, bitch, you're adults.
Yeah.
You're motherfucking adults. If I see two adults, if I see a man beating up on a woman, if I in public, if I were to see a big man beating up on a smaller woman, I probably would step in. Not that I could do very much because I'm a small bitch myself, but I would. But also, here's the opposing question. If you saw a woman beating on a man, would you step in? Would you step in to say, hey, you know, what's going on? Like, why are you, you know, and the man was looking like scared or defenseless or that he was
screaming for help, you know, trying to get away.
You wouldn't.
She would probably laugh.
The hypocrisy with the gender roles needs to fucking stop. And, you know, again, going back to we're calling you out because, again, you want to you want to sit up here and make it seem like, you know, you're so a part of this and you're so hip to the movement. And again, that your circle of teens, your teen sippers that you sit at the circle with, and you run these stories, that they're gay men, or that they're trans people, or that you have a network of those type of people. I'm not saying that you would be rude or not inclusive with a trans or gay person per you to meet them, but it's also a reflection on, and that's another thing I don't like either. Like, bitch, don't be fake. Okay, I don't like the fact that, yeah, you can smile up in our face, and yes, you can, oh, my tea sippers, make sure, my gay tea sippers too, make sure you guys are supporting me on Patreon, make sure you guys are buying my merchandise, make sure you guys are, you know, watching my videos and stuff like that to support me. But at the same time, in your heart, you don't wish the best for us. You don't wish for our happiness. You think our happiness is weird. You think us getting married or trans people completing transitioning or identifying as who they want to identify as, you think that's weird. You think that's backwards. You think, you know, heterosexual men who are metrosexual is weird. It makes you uncomfortable. And it's like,
yeah.
It's the fuck shit.
It is. And if you saw us with an attractive ass man who was appealing to your eyes, you will be mad. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what it is, T.
Point blank, period.
Yeah, point blank. You would be mad. Our happiness makes you feel some kind of way because,
yes.
Yeah, it does. It does. Let's keep it 100, T. You know? So, you want to come to the next receipt? Okay, so the next receipt, we're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar's video where she basically says, oh, if a man does not like stretch marks, he must be on the DL, honey. So,
you know, like I said on Instagram, as a female, you're either going to have issues with either stretch marks or cellulite. It's one or the other. And a real man is not going to have problems with that. The only guys who have issues with that are guys who are probably on the DL and they're not really checking for women like that anyways, because most men don't have cellulite and stretch marks on their butt. You know what I'm saying? A real guy is not going to trip off no shit like that. You know, so that whole situation.
Okay, so I want to talk about the whole real guy and real man thing, because that's something that I hear a lot of women, you know, throw around. What's real and who's real as far as like being a man. You never really hear men talking about women like that. Like, oh, she's not a real woman because of this and this and this. Like, womanhood is never really questioned. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny to me how women are so easily able to dissect and dismantle a man's manhood. You know what I'm saying? And T, I want to point out to you, most humans have stretch marks, sweetie. I don't know how many men you've seen, how many men's asses you've seen, or how many men you've slept with, but honey, I've seen, well, I'm not, you know, blowing my own horn and saying that I sleep with a lot of people, honey, but I've seen quite a few men's asses, and most of them have stretch marks, hun. I have stretch marks on my ass, bitch. I have stretch marks on my ass. I have stretch marks on my knees. I have stretch marks on the side of my my rib cage. So yeah, men have stretch marks too, boo boo. It's not just a woman thing, okay? So if a man doesn't like stretch marks, that does not negate his heterosexuality or what he's attracted to, or that he likes men, or he's on the down low. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. I mean, what do you think about that?
I'm just really tired of this whole fucking DL witch hunt. Like I said earlier in this video, I mean, god damn, like, a man don't like you, T, basically you might as well just put the Twitter out, bitch. Any man that's not attracted to you is DL. You know, because that's the kind of caping that I hear going on in these, you know, in these Instagram posts, that it's like, okay, ladies, if your man came home like this, you know, and there's some effeminate marker, or there's some mockery of some effemininity, what would y'all do? Well, you know, and it's like the fish going on, oh, I beat his ass, I would snatch that lace front, you know, if he get a male weave, I would snatch that out of his head, I would da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, that is why you're single. Okay, do you get that? That is why y'all are single. S-I-N-G-L-E. That's why y'all are single. Because it's like, ain't no man gonna want to sit up there and meet all these fucking criteria, yet at the same time, y'all want to be able to be comfortable and, you know, no makeup, no lace front. Y'all want to be loved and adored and appreciated for naturally being who y'all are and all this fucking shit, right? I also want to touch on this. Okay, you as women, okay, you're entitled to justification and holding down womanhood. Y'all are not entitled to tell a man what it is to be a man.
Hello.
Okay, just like it's not in our entitlement as trans women or trans people to tell y'all, and I would never do that as a trans person. I would never come to a woman and say, I am a biological woman, honey. My experience is of womanhood and I get a flow every month. No, I would never do that. I would never do that. You have some trans people out there that honey, that's them. I'm speaking from my personal perspective and experience. I would never do that. I acknowledge myself as a trans person. I transitioned from being male to female, and, you know, that's my experience. And I'm entitled to that, and no one can negate that from me. But I'm also not going to travel into other female territory and talk about things that I have no knowledge of or no experience with. What I can acknowledge is my experience being societally recognized as female, okay, because I am, okay, I go out and, you know, the doors are open for me, honey. The men are caping, not all men, but, you know, the men are caping for me, honey, and bitch, I'm fish, honey, get into it, okay?
Yes.
But it's like, going back to T, you need to slow that down. You really need to slow that down and come up off of that, because you just sound so ignorant and you sound bitter. You sound bitter. You're on this witch hunt. And see, I notice this a lot of times with women who don't have a man. Okay, and I don't know what your business is. But a woman who is secure with her man doesn't sit around trying to dissect manhood. Doesn't sit around trying to, bring about all this fucking hypothetical shit about this imaginary DL sensation about men. And they're caping for this whole DL, scenario that, to be honest with you, bitch, let me tell you, it's enough men out here that's willing to pipe you down if you need dick on the low.
Okay.
If you need dick on the weekend, girl, let me tell you, you have the whole buffet open to you, sweetheart.
Yes, child.
In ways that the gays, in ways that the trans, in ways that others like us, we don't have access to. Okay, so I don't understand the struggle that you guys are talking about with whole DL sensation, and that. And the only thing I can see is that, yes, there are a lot of unfaithful men who probably creep with gays or trans. But guess what? They're just as willing to creep with your sister, your mama, your cousin, your grandmama, your daughter. Like, so stop.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop,
and it's not all. And it's not all men. You want to paint all black men with this brushstroke. It's like, if the man's not into you, if the man, points something out, if it's just an asshole, you want to demonize him as far as like him being on the DL or gay. It's like, don't throw that shit on us. We don't, we're in our lane. Stop putting the men who do you wrong, the men who you don't like, the bad guys in y'all heterosexual world that we don't know about. Stop throwing them over here.
Or the men that are too good for you, or men that are out of your league, or don't want to talk to you, or don't like you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Stop throwing them on us.
Absolutely. So, okay, so while you were giving beautiful points, I found a new video. Yes, honey, this tea is what? Piping hot, honey. Off the press. So we're gonna listen to a video that is Twitter versus Young Thug, and basically, I want you to listen to her tone of voice and her energy behind what she's saying. It's not so much her going in. I mean, you'll listen to it, but her tone of voice was kind of like very monotone and dead, and kind of like she was over it and like she's not here for it. But it was like very like monotone. So listen to what she says and give me your opinion, and we'll come back with the rest of our commentary.
Him, he's big on this whole fragile masculinity, also the whole sexual fluidity. We also see this with Will Smith's son, Jaden Smith, him wearing dresses and skirts and everything else. To each his own. If you date men in dresses, you are free to do that. But at the end of the day,
so basically, her voice when she said that, it's kind of like, and why does she have to call it fragile masculinity? Just because a man is expressing his fashion, wearing, skirts or dresses, or wearing blouses, or putting a flower on his ear, or, flowers on his hair or his afro, or even flowers on his beard, or wearing some type of, flashy earrings, or jewelry, or maybe even painted nail polishes. Why is that fragile masculinity? Why is his masculinity destroyed and shattered? Why? It's just crazy to me how you are saying these things, and you're not even thinking about your audience and the people that are watching. And it goes back to like, T, come on now. If you want to pretend that you're up on game and up in the modern times, girl, this lingo, it got to go. It got to go, honey, because it's not matching. Like, it's not matching, sweetie. And you very much remind me of Wendy Williams, because Wendy Williams is the same fucking way. And it's so funny because T says that she don't fuck with her, but yet all you do is post that woman's image and her video clips in your intros. You know what I'm saying? While you're talking, and it kind of like adds to what it it synchronizes with the things that she says. So it's kind of like Wendy Williams is kind of like working through her voice or whatever, through T's voice. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but it's like, if you don't fuck with somebody, why would you make little memes? Kind of like if you know, like if it's talking about shade, it's Wendy Williams with like a hat and some glasses or whatever. Like, why are you showing her if you don't like her? But yet you be kind of like looking at her. She's like your role model in a way. You know what I'm saying? But it's just so funny. You and her have similar mind frames. Y'all both pretend that y'all are down with the cause or down with, you know, the LGBT girls, but the minute we really catch you in your feelings, you say some dumb shit that's against us, or that shows that you don't fuck with us, really, you know? So what do you think about what she was saying about the whole fragile masculinity and you know, men wearing skirts, and if you wanna date a man with a skirt or whatever, that's your prerogative?
I feel like, again, it goes back to the unauthenticity behind caping for us. Like, bitch, you don't want to see it for us. You really don't want to see it for us. I mean, to each his own, like she said, to each his own. T, we're not coming for you to not have your opinions or not have your feelings in this and this and that. We're stating the fact that the truth is, bitch, you done came up on our backs. You done came up on our struggle. We came up with that lingo because we did not want straight women like you who are nosy aunties, nosy mamas, who like to go back and tell our whole families that we're gay, tell our whole families that you've seen us at the gay club, you've seen us over here with Tom, you've seen us over here with Bruce. You know, we made up that lingo to keep you out of the loop.
Yeah, yeah.
The truth be told.
That is the
truth. The lingo, it's the truth. We made that lingo up so y'all hoes wouldn't know what the fuck we were talking about. And now here it is, 2017, and your ass is caping, and you done profited off of the shit.
And made money over here making stacks.
Stacks, and you e-bagging. You were e-bagging.
E-bagging while making stacks, girl. T, you was making stacks before Patreon. I don't know who you playing. Acting like them little videos that was demonetized was actually doing something to your wallet, girl.
To your views.
Girl, bye. Girl, bye. You know what I'm saying? Each of your videos makes at least like bitch 50 to 80K. Some of them 100K per video, okay?
Per video.
Come on now.
And you make videos every single other, well, probably every day to every other day, and then you want to get to the point where you're making videos every day, putting up the case like that, you're getting at least a stack from YouTube.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
At least a stack from YouTube. Okay? And yes, ho, we see the commercials in your videos, sweetheart. So yeah, they are playing. Because I remember she made a video like,
saying that they weren't playing.
Like, yeah, they're playing, sweetie. And I know you're looking at that ad revenue and you're seeing it. Okay? So every time you say tea or sipping tea, where the tea is piping hot, or your tea sippers, you're talking about the gays. You're not talking about the straight people.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not. That to you. You're talking about our struggle in trying to keep women like you out of our business. That's what it was for.
Yeah, and now you're trying to use it to hurt us? No.
Yeah.
You will be stopped, T. And I hope that you listen to this video. You probably are. And this is how we feel, okay? And it's the reality. So we're gonna go to the next video.
Okay.
And this one, yeah, I played the Kendrick Lamar. So we're gonna talk about the whole concern mom calling Rashida, and when T makes the claim that, or the fact that Rashida's son is on the DL. Okay, so we're gonna play that.
And now they're gonna have to deal with their son's, you know, sexual orientation, then the fact that her son's on the DL. And
okay, so I want to make something clear to you, T. There is a difference between being on the DL and being in the closet or being discreet about your orientation. Being on the DL means that you have a girlfriend or a wife and you are cheating on her with a man, okay? That's what the down low symbolizes. Rashida's son, if I'm not mistaken, is like, what, like 15 or 16? He's not married as far as I know. And you haven't said that he had a girlfriend, or there are no claims on the internet as far as this whole situation saying that he has a girlfriend. So how is this boy on the DL? T, you need to watch what you say, because words like that, they have weight, they have energy, and they have thought forms attached to them. I don't know if you know about these kind of things, but when you say those words, you know, it creates an impression in people's minds that's not positive, and that's harmful to that child. You don't know that boy
and
like
our
that.
Community.
Yeah,
and our community.
Because everybody who keeps their sexual orientation private is not on the DL. Okay, everybody don't have. Everybody's not married. Everybody don't have a girlfriend. It could be a man that he's single and he's in the closet, or he's you know, because of women like you know, who think that they're DL. He's not gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Or he ain't gonna tell your ass. Or maybe his parents know, but your ass don't know. That don't mean that he's on the DL. That's none of your fucking business.
It's none of your business.
Yeah, so you need to watch what the fuck you say and learn the correct fucking words and what the fuck they mean, okay? Somebody who is in the closet is not the same as on the DL. So please stop brushing everybody with the same motherfucking stroke. So that's that as far as that. Do you have anything else to say about this video?
I think you put it perfectly.
Okay,
I think
so
and
the last video that we're gonna play is the whole Black China mom thing. As far as like T purposefully refusing to address Caitlyn as she used the word Caitlyn, and I wanna and the point that I'm making with this video is in the video, in her response, she says that, oh, you know, she made a mistake as far as like saying he or whatever, but that's not what you did. You never called Caitlyn he in the video. You called Caitlyn, instead of saying she, you said Caitlyn. So you addressed Caitlyn, I guess, in the third person, or instead of saying, you know, her or she, you said Caitlyn. Okay, so I'm gonna play that footage. Let's do that now. Oh yeah, and saying that it was a mistake, it wasn't a mistake because you have to think that out. You have to consciously remember to say her name and not she or he, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to purposefully think the name before you even say it. You have to kind of like be on your cues, you know, you have to be on it, you know what I'm saying? Because you might slip. So you kept saying her name, so you knew what you were doing. So it wasn't no fucking mistake.
Convenient it is that The View decided to have Rob's ex-stepdaddy, honey, come on the show to speak about the situation. So they end up asking Caitlyn Jenner basically what Caitlyn thought about the entire situation, and this is what Caitlyn had to say, honey. Go ahead.
So it's like Caitlyn, you know, instead of saying she, you just say Caitlyn 3 times. And then you called her stepdaddy in the beginning. So it's kind of like what we were saying earlier, like you can't pick and choose who you know, how you address her. You can't. You can't. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it works here. You can't pick and choose who to be transphobic towards, or who to refuse to give them that courtesy. You know what I'm saying? Like Caitlyn hasn't done anything to you. Yeah, you don't like her, but you have to think about your viewers and the people that are watching that might get hurt by the things that you say, that look up to you, and it's your platform. You know, girl. Go ahead, give her.
And I think you touched on this point maybe before we got on the show, in that you were talking about how Black China, I feel like you wanted to channel Black China's mom and how derogatory Black China's mom was towards Caitlyn, as you wanted to channel that as your own personal views, because you had nothing to say. And here's another thing. Bitch, you want to sit up here and cape for, women being women and women being classy and men, you know, gender roles and respecting. That was a foul-mouthed, unflattering, unfeminine, gutter, reckless mouth, vulgar bitch. Okay? That was disgusting. That was gutter trash in the way she acted in that video, Black China's mom, in the way she spoke, in the words that she used towards Caitlyn, okay? And that is your personal view, okay? You were sitting there cackling and kikiing and living for the fact that, guess what? Someone besides yourself, which you are smart enough to know in your own platform you cannot say something like that or do something like that without backlash, but you promoted that content on your channel.
Yes.
And did not have anything, because usually you're the one to call somebody on being that vulgar or being that reckless or being that disturbing. For example, you were talking about Rashida's mom and the whole mommy situation. And to be quite honest with you, my thoughts on that video, I did not think that was a mother. I think that was a gay guy who called and probably was prank calling. Maybe they was the ones who was doing the exchange with Rashida's son and their cells or whatever. Because see, you mentioned in the video that Rashida's son was talking to this other older guy, and the other older guy was like putting him out there, whatever. So it seems like Rashida's son, from the receipts per you put out, Rashida's son likes to talk to older guys, and that's motherfucking his prerogative. Okay, like that's not my child, so I'm not here to say yay or nay to that. But going back to the situation at hand, you know, you spoke against Rashida's mother. I'm sorry, the alleged mother calling Rashida and talking so derogatory, talking so nasty like that to that woman, but you had nothing to say about Black China's mama. And it's one thing. Okay, I don't agree, and I'm not here for Caitlyn taking advantage, and like you said, you know, she only comes out of the woodwork when she wants to, or something going on with the Kardashian name, and she wants to get her little shine or whatever. I don't agree with that. But you see how I'm acknowledging her, right? She's a she, because she's went through the motions. Okay, she has announced herself. She's given the public and her own family the courtesy, because she understands the hardness or the hardship that comes with being recognized as an athlete, being recognized as a star, being recognized, you know, for many years as a man. She's giving you guys that courtesy, but yet you still want to bruise, a.k.a. Caitlyn. It's like, no, bitch. The bitch legally changed her name to Caitlyn. That's it. It's no longer Bruce, you know. And when you do that, and you showcase the response of Black China's mother, I forgot her name, whatever her name is.
Tokyo Tony, I think.
Tokyo. And you don't address her vulgarity and the way she spoke and the language that she
had nothing to say, honey.
Faggot and all that.
It was crickets. It was crickets.
But you want to address the mama who called Rashida and called her out for being, you know, reckless and nasty and all this type of shit. It just reflects on you, bitch. And it's again, like you said, bitch, you don't ride for us.
You don't. And you're absolutely right. You know, I didn't think about it like that. That she was projecting everything that Black China Mama said. T co-sign. T was sipping her teacup. Okay. T. That's how she felt. Okay. That's very true. Now that you're saying it, wow. That's deep.
And let me tell you something about the gays, sweetheart. We've been sipping. Our tea is aged, bitch. Our tea is been sitting, stirred, piped, and brewed way before you got your little mugs, honey, that you're selling on wherever the fuck you're selling the shit at. Okay, so you can't pull nothing over us. You cannot pull it over us, honey. We're gonna clock you for what it is. We're gonna clock you for what it is, and of all your behavior, it points to the hypocrisy. You do not ride for us. And the only thing that's just saddening about it is that, again, a majority of your audience are us. You have captivated us as thinking you're an ally. You're a part of. And we understand that, okay, you cannot take on our movement or our struggle because you are a heterosexual woman, but guess what? We at least thought enough to say we feel safe on your page. We know that you're going to keep it pretty liberal, pretty, you know, real, pretty in the middle when it comes to these issues and just your perspective. But when it comes to us and somebody literally Tokyo Tony faggot and you had nothing to say that you don't appreciate that language. You know, you know, you have a lot of gay supporters and you have a lot of gay watchers and stuff, and you had nothing to say.
That silence,
I hope this video reaches your audience, your gay audience, and they see you're the type of bitch. No, you don't ride.
You don't. You don't. And it's real fucked up. It's real fucked up, you know. And we see the truth. We see the truth, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I want to show some actual comments, some actual commentary for some people under the video where they're basically clocking tea on her shit. So this is the last sip of the tea. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and show you guys the comments. Okay. So there we go. You guys should be able to see that right there. So I don't know if you guys want me to read it. So I'll basically read it. It's not that much. So somebody says, no idea. T was prejudiced against trans people. I think Caitlyn is a dumb bitch. But when you call her Bruce and him, you're insulting so many other normal people who just live their lives to their fullest. So that's what someone said. Now, someone else said, not sure why Lovely T liked the comment condemning transphobia and homophobia, but then goes on to misgender Caitlyn and call her he. Interesting, I guess, girl. Then somebody else said, why don't you use pronouns for Caitlyn Jenner? Then someone else said, it's kind of sad she didn't condemn Tokyo Tony, extremely homophobic and transphobic words. And someone said, I agree. And then someone else said, why didn't you condemn Tokyo's homophobia? Why is it so hard for you to say she when addressing Caitlyn? I'm not angry nor upset, just disappointed. You lost this patron. Ooh. So the girls are not pleased, honey. And because of these comments, okay, yo ass decided to make a motherfucking video this morning. And it's just so funny how, you know, you have the time to sit there and go through literally all the motherfucking comments and people responding and clocking you on your shit. It got to you that much that you decided to make that video today where you took no type of personal responsibility. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even address any type of like just acknowledging.
You deflected by saying, oh, you never. First of all, what videos do you have? You were talking about the whole Janet Mock and Laverne Cox. But what videos do you have really even discussing them or talking about them? Okay, like what videos do you have even talking about or addressing trans issues? You don't even talk about trans, you know, and not saying that you should, it's your platform, girl, but you know, even gay, again, the only time you see gay or a reflection of trans on your channel is when we are putting out or revealing or pulling out of the closet a hetero norm man or heterosexual man. So, you know, and I just want to address the comments or whatever. I'm really glad that a lot of people did see the true aspect of who you are, and I felt like in the video that you made this morning, it was pure deflection, because you know it's like we say, you don't have to fuck with Caitlyn, you don't have to, but that does not give you reason right to disrespect her by Bruce, aka Caitlyn. I mean, that's kind of like taking away from all trans people's experience, because guess what? That our names that we choose for ourselves that we're living through now, that's not who we were. Okay, it's not. So are you saying that you know, if I'm not passable enough, if my voice is not feminine enough, if I don't look like Janet Mock or Laverne Cox, if I don't have that platform that as they do, that I should be antagonized, that I should, you know, that a person like Tokyo Tony or another bitch on the street should just come and read me and call me faggot and all this shit. You are caping for that.
Yeah, she's okay with that. She's okay with that.
You're okay with that.
As long as she can't tell, you're good, basically.
And you still mad about Janet, bitch. And you still mad about Laverne, honey. I know that much to be true. Yes. You may not say it, but let you be sitting at a single table, honey, and you see her over there with a table for two, bitch. You're not gonna be
okay
what?
with a man that you find attractive. I know you're gonna be salty, bitch. I know you're gonna be mad because he ain't yours. And even if he wasn't with her, he wouldn't even look at you. That's the
But
T.
he's
Like,
DL.
yeah. Oh, but he's DL, child. You know, it's just crazy. Y'all want every man on this earth to just beg on their knees for your pussy, bitch, and that's not how it works.
And none of the and here's another thing, girl, that I want to say. You know, these men that get Dominican blowouts, these men that do this, these men that wear flowers in their hair, these men that decide to put on skirts, these men that were once straight and are now gay, these men that are bisexual, these motherfucking men do not belong to you. They're not yours. They're not yours. They're not yours to police their behavior. They're not yours to dictate what they can and cannot do with themselves or their life. They're not yours to question their manhood or their authenticity as men or whatever they choose to live themselves as. They're not yours to possess or claim. They're not yours to criticize and scrutinize about what they choose to wear or how the fuck they choose. It's a lace front, bitch, makeup, eyebrows. They're not yours. Let it go. They're not yours to come and cater to you if you want to fight like a thug bitch on the street or run your motherfucking mouth and you get popped in it. They're not yours. These men do not belong to you. And I really want women to really wake up and let that shit go. Okay?
Okay.
Men are not yours. They will fuck you. They will fuck your sister. They will fuck your mama.
Your
they
cousin.
Will fuck me. They will fuck me. They will fuck my friend. They will fuck the boy. They don't care.
They don't care. And what's so funny, a lot of y'all hoes be fucking each other. A lot of y'all hoes is over here dyking and shit. I bet you T licked some pussy before, but she ain't gonna say it. I bet you T been eating some pussy.
Her gay. I know T don't flip it because you in LA.
T done got her box 8, bitch. T, I bet you got your box 8. Oh, as long as I don't eat, as long as I don't eat it, I ain't a dyke, bitch. But I bet you got your pussy 8.
Come on, T.
T, I know you, girl. I could look at her and tell.
Right.
Oh,
bitch, you don't
dyking
blank, girl. Come on, now. Come on.
You done dipped in the pond, in that fish pond. You know, and it's always the ones that have. It's always them dick dykes that be the one who always got some shit to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I mean, is there anything else you want to go and talk about? Because I think we pretty much.
I think we slayed.
Yeah, we've slayed her.
I think we slayed her. Dollar store lace front.
Yes.
Okay, that's
yes.
the best. Dollar store weed you be rocking.
With no part, with no scalp.
Bitch, you don't even know how to lay no baby hairs, bitch.
Girl, get a frontal, honey. You need to watch Malibu Dollface or something, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
And I think she even posted about something about Malibu
She
Dollface.
did.
Oh no, you commented on Malibu Dollface's. She commented. Malibu Dollface did like a wig or something.
Oh, okay.
And she commented.
T.
She was like, "Oh, I never even knew," or something like that. But
really?
I was here for this wig or something. Yes, I remember that. Yes, girl, we don't miss a beat over here.
Yeah, we sure don't, honey.
Over here. So I think from now on, you need to keep it real cute. And I think you need to honestly make a formal apology about even broadcasting that garbage against us with Tokyo Tony, because I really feel like
that's how she felt. Yeah.
That's how you feel.
The energy behind it and how she was so quiet. It's kind of like she put a pit bull, and she was holding the leash, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was. Yes. That's what it was, bitch. You was behind that. You was behind that. She was your mouthpiece, and you stayed quiet.
Yes.
It was.
And the girls were offended, and that's why they drug your ass up and down that comment section, and probably on your Twitter, and that's why you had to make a video today.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that?
So we're going to. How about that? We're going to wrap this up. I think this was a beautiful video, honey. We hit all angles.
Yes, came with the receipts. And commentary. And commentary.
Yes. Now what's T? What's T? What you got? Like, what is it? Shut us down. Girl, we're gonna post this on your comment section, bitch. So your viewers can get the real shit, honey. How about that?
All right, so let's shut everything down. So thanks to everybody or anyone who's listening, and
Deuces.